So hello everyone, it's your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into my favorite eyeshadow formulas as far as drugstore and affordable palettes go. So I of course have honorable mentions because I can't just make a video with, you know, a normal amount of products. I have to have honorable mentions. So let's get into my honorable mentions first, and then we'll get into the brands I actually think are worth the time. So I'm going to start off with a brand that has been downgraded because I feel like they've just been playing games recently with their quality as far as it goes. And I feel like it should be no surprise who I'm talking about when it comes to the affordable drugstore category. And that would be Miss ColourPop herself. I don't know what's going on over there, those headquarters. But, like, for example, this palette had wishy-washy feelings. Like, this one right here, horrible, difficult to work with, was patchy, didn't want to blend out, didn't want to set down. It was just a whole hot mess. What was the other one? The yellow one didn't work that great to me either. The rest of them worked pretty nice, but it was just like, we know I'm a green and blue purple connoisseur, so the fact that and there's a huge dent in it for me trying to make it work and it not working, so the fact that it had all those issues going on with it, it was just kind of like, yeah, I was not impressed by this shadow at all. It was very, very disappointing, and I don't know. But the quality overall in this brand has just been going up and down recently to me. So that's why I'm just kind of like, yeah, no, I don't really want to be bothered with this anymore. I don't want any parts of this. So they have good quality. It's just a question of you don't know what kind of quality you're going to get in each palette, which is why they're honorable mention as opposed to just being, yeah, you should try ColourPop. It's definitely great, like it used to be. The next one I have that I feel like they went down in their quality after they like rebranded their shadows, and they rebranded the second time. I heard it's even worse than the first time they redid their formula, is Wet n Wild. So this palette is pretty decent. This is the 40 palette. They sell this at Walmart still. Last time I checked, when I went to the Walmart, it's there. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And does it remind you of anything? Because this is supposed to be a dupe for the James Charles palette, and he got really upset and went off and Wet n Wild with everything except a child of God, and he was acting like he invented the rainbow and all that type of foolishness. But I bought this palette because I'm not really a James Charles person, and I wanted to see how the quality was going to be on this palette. Plus, I don't like Morphe as a general rule, so that's another reason I bought this one over that one. But the quality of that is pretty decent. However, their quality has been going downhill further and further. From what I've heard, the new palettes they reformulated the first time I didn't like, so I didn't even buy the new palettes they reformulated this time just because I was like, child, I don't have time. But if you can get some of the older palettes, like the first set of the new release that they came out with, is still halfway decent. It's not as good as the very original palettes. Like the shimmers aren't a fourth of as good as they were in their original palette. So I don't know why they rebranded and screwed up their brand, but that palette is decent, and like the Bertman Rock one is really nice. So if you can get some of the decent ones, I would say try them out, or like the first set of reformulated stuff. But after that, honey, I just heard it went downhill and it's a mess. But since I do like some of their stuff, I figured I would give them an honorable mention, but it's only for certain things, like they're returning into ColourPop with like hit and miss things, and I don't know. The next brand I want to recommend as an honorable mention is Makeup Revolution. Now, please keep in mind, I only mean these Forever Flawless 10 pans. I don't mean anything else. Like, don't try anything else. Just stick with these. I have the chilled one that's really nice. This is a Flamboyance palette. This is a good dupe to the, what's his name? The Manny MUA Strawberry Dreams palette. Like, if you don't want to buy that one, you have to think about Manny, or you just can't afford to. This is a nice color story dupe to that. Now, please believe it's not exact. I have a video comparing both of them. If you want to see, I'll try to remember to link it up there, or you can just type in the hashtag GelBeauty87 and it should pop up. But anyway, or type in Battle of the GelBeauty87, because I do a lot of Battle of those. Or just go to the playlist I have. There's many options to find it. But anyway, this I feel like is a good dupe for that, and the quality of this is pretty decent. Now, it's not exceptional, so don't expect it to be, but it's a really good quality palette, and I find the quality in those palettes are the best quality they have out of all the palettes that they have, so I would recommend those. But if you want to know about Makeup Revolution, I definitely suggest you check out Makeup by Tammy, or Tammy Clark, here on YouTube, because since she's done like 2 or 3 collections with them, she can tell you what formulas they have that are really good and which aren't, because she works with the brand on a consistent basis. So that's who you should check out for Revolution content. The next brand I have to talk about is an honorable mention, because I have like 4 or 5 honorable mentions, y'all. It's so sad. The next one I have is Alter Ego, though. So this is the Alter Ego Aurora palette. This is a dupe for the Sunrise palette from Natasha Denona, and this is the only palette that I like from them, as sad as it is. I don't like any of the palettes they've come out with. I think they have like 5 or 6. They have Daydream, they have Goddess, they have Blooms, and then they have the one that they I think it's called Canyon, and then they have the Artemis. I don't like any of those palettes. This is the only one as far as formula goes I like. So I feel like their formula is hit and miss. I don't know why they just used the Bad Habit formula that they originally had, because that formula was way better than this one is. This is the only one I can tolerate. The rest of them I do not like. And then they're trying to do that cream to matte formula like Natasha Denona does, and it's not nearly as good. It's not like even a fourth as good. It's just terrible. So this is the only palette I would recommend you from this brand. I heard other people say they like the Goddess palette, so if you dare try that and you like the Natasha Denona gold palette and didn't want to buy it, I would definitely recommend you to try that. But otherwise, I don't like really what goes on with this brand. However, I knew that palette was really good, and I've heard other people say good things about it, so it is an affordable option for you to try out if you like the color stories of these palettes but don't want to spend the $125 or the $65 that they charge. You could try it out at your own risk. I'm just telling you, I only literally like one palette out of all the palettes I just named and came out with, so just be advised. Okay, so the last brand I have to talk about, and I hate putting them in this category, but they've only had two palettes that I actually, sorry, two sets of palettes that I actually like the formula on, so I don't want to put them in the regular brands I would recommend is my favorite formulas, just because if you've only had two palettes that I genuinely like the formula on, I don't feel like that puts you in a league with these other palettes where every single palette damn near I've tried from them I like. And this is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. So this palette is really nice. So e.l.f. palettes have been getting better in quality, but it took quite a few years for them to get there. I remember when they had their other palettes in the black packaging. I liked one of them okay, but I didn't like when they first came up with these clear package palettes. I did not like them. The Opposite Attract is terrible. The 18 Hit Wonders, that one is terrible. I didn't try the Earth and Ocean just because those other two were so awful, and these are kind of expensive. I think they're like $16 or $18, and I feel like that's high considering the formula isn't that great to begin with. The formula on this one though is actually pretty good. Now you do have to put in elbow grease with these palettes, so just keep that in mind. You're gonna have to put in a lot of elbow grease. As you can see, I did quite a bit of rubbing on this brown one right here in order to get the pigmentation I needed out of it. The same thing with this red and this blue. So you're gonna have to put in effort with this palette, but it's like, it is a decent amount of payoff and it's worth the effort you put in. Plus, if I remember correctly, you can buy this off, you might be able to buy this off Ulta. I don't remember, because if you can use that extra 20% off coupon, or you can wait till e.l.f. has their 65% off sales and 75% off sales for the stock, and then you can get it at an amazing deal. Not that 18 isn't a good deal, but since you have to put in a lot of elbow grease to make this palette work, I feel like you might want to just wait for a sale and then get it, or just pick up the little bite-sized shadows. So those are really good. I have like a whole drawer of those over here next to me. I think I have about 8 of them, just because those are really nice and they're only $3. So get this palette or get the bite sizes. Otherwise, I don't recommend e.l.f. shadows because I don't like them. I've heard people say the Earth and Ocean is really good, but since I haven't tried it myself, I'm not going to tell you to get it, girl, because I don't know. It might not be good. I don't know. Now let's get into the stuff that I actually would recommend. So I'm going to start off with the by Beauty Bay brand. The palettes I tried for them have been really good. I have the Nikkie Tutorials one, and then I have the Book of Magic. So those palettes are really nice. Matter of fact, let me go with the Nikkie Tutorial one. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. So this is a Nikkie Tutorials one. I was surprised at the pigmentation and the quality of this palette. This palette is extremely nice. I definitely recommend you try out their palettes. I'm still waiting on my new Romance, even though I ordered it over a month ago. But for some reason, it's still sitting in the Great Britain post office. I guess it's trying to go through customs in order to get to America. I don't know, because I ordered it before I ordered the Manny MUA palette, but you all saw that video already, and I have already reviewed it and put up an Instagram video for it yesterday. So I don't know what's going on with it, but hopefully it gets to me soon. The next brand I have to talk about is Cara Beauty. Now, I love their palettes. The only thing with them is I feel like they do a lot of similar color stories with all their palettes, like ColourPop kind of does. So that's the only downfall to them in my personal opinion, but the formula is really nice. Now, the formula on the Life is a Fiesta palette is the best formula that they have. I'm telling you, like, that palette is wonderful. I love the color story of it. I love looks like creating, and I love the quality of that palette. This palette is good, but I feel like over time they've gotten better and better and better. I guess the more palettes they sold, the better they could make their formulas. But this formula is good. It's just not as good as the Life is a Fiesta palette. So I definitely recommend that one. But this is the one I had to show you what the brand had to offer. So I made sure I showed it. Okay, my battery is blinking. That's why I'm talking faster than usual. The next one I have is the BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo palette. So BH Cosmetics has surprised everybody. If you all don't remember, I did a tag video. My first tag video ever was my girl Dr. Ash and her makeup. I try to remember to put it up there. It's usually in the description box down below in all the videos, so I don't think I'm going to need to tag it up there. But I talked about BH Cosmetics and how they've been surprising the hell out of everyone. Like, all of us extra thirsty in 2020, like, BH Cosmetics, what? They coming out with what? I need what? I need to grab all of it. But this palette, this isn't my favorite palette, but I love the color story of this one, which is what I'm going to show you. They have nice color stories to offer. The formula on this isn't as great as the Ice Cream Dream palettes or the Weekend Vibes collection, because the Weekend Vibes collection is one with all the food palettes in it, like the blueberry muffin that everybody talks about and the avocado toast. Those are really nice palettes. I have the mimosa one as well. I guess I could have showed that one since that's the better formula, but like I said, I wanted you to see a nice color story, and I don't like the color story of that as much as I love the color story of this. But this palette is wonderful, this brand is wonderful, and you should definitely check them out. So next, second to last palette is LA Girl. I love LA Girl's formula. I think it's really nice for the price point. Their color stories are really nice too. This is the Backstage palette. Look at this color story. Like, this is just me in a drugstore palette. Like, honey, they got my blues, they got my greens, they got my purples, and then they have like my mauve tones for when I want to do a natural, you know, like look, or a soft glam look that I would consider a soft glam look, but still gives you smoky edge with this brown, this black shimmer, this black matte right here. This palette, honey, you need to get your hands on it. I know Dr. Ash and her makeup was talking about she wanted to get it, so I'm like, yes, this palette is amazing. Everyone needs to get it, and you need to try LA Girl's formula because it is amazing. I actually found a couple of their palettes at Nordstrom's Rack when I went there Saturday. And I was shocked because I was like, oh, okay, I was going to buy both of them. But then I was like, wait, I had similar color stories to them already. So I was like, I don't need to get them. But, you know, otherwise I definitely would have grabbed them because I know their quality is really nice. The last one I have to talk about, of course, is Juvia's Place. We cannot not talk about Juvia's Place in an affordable palette video as far as formulas go, because I feel like they have a really nice formula. Although I've heard someone compare their formula to Morphe, which I totally disagree with. But in all fairness, I don't use a lot of Morphe, so maybe it is and I just don't know. But it was Morgan Turner that said, and I know she buys Morphe and uses Morphe. I don't use Morphe, so I can't vouch for what she said. That's how she feels about it. But I think Juvia's Place quality is really nice, and I feel like their quality is consistent, unlike some other folks I talked about earlier in the video. So it's a great black owned brand for you to buy from. My only thing with them is the pressed glitters. Stop with the pressed glitters. Everybody keeps telling you about the pressed glitters. Stop. I love the Wahala too better than this Wahala palette right here, but otherwise I think this is a great quality brand, and their eyeshadows are really nice, and I think you should try them out. So those are all my affordable and drugstore palettes that I thought I would recommend for you to try out. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.